lot of people are surprised when I tell them that in my younger years, I played 3 different sports. I played soccer, baseball, and basketball. Now, I've always been a fan of watching sports even from a young age, but my experience playing sports was not quite as enjoyable as spectating, and I'll explain why. Initially, as a kid, you're just looking to have fun. That's the real reason why you do sports. Being able to be with my friends was a big thing. They were always on a lot of the different teams I was on. I remember in Little League Baseball, after practices, we would go get ice cream, or even after wins, we'd go get ice cream. That was always a big highlight. It was just keeping like the youthful energy involved and just enjoying it. That was the real reason why I enjoyed doing sports in the first place. What took the joy out of it for me when I got older, besides having borderline asthma problems, which is one of the big reasons that I stopped, was that parents and coaches would just take things to the absolute extreme. Now, I'm sure a lot of you can probably relate to this, whether you're in school currently or you were in school in the past, because this is a problem that exists really everywhere, and it definitely existed in my school, where parents would get in altercations with other parents, coaches would get in altercations with other coaches, players, all kinds of crap like that. Just people, thinking that, their kid deserves this spot or this chance or whatever, and just taking things way too far and really making something that was enjoyable for us something that was, not as fun anymore. To this day, I still think it's wild that, adults and people that are supposed to be role models and lead by example, they take, what underage kids are doing in sports, which is really, you're in sports as a kid to learn values and, like I said, to just enjoy it. You're not in sports to be super competitive. Well, you can be competitive, but not to that extent. No one's job is on the line. These are not professionals. These are just kids. I just never understood that mentality. So like I said, this is kind of what led me to completely be done. I remember at the end of 8th grade, I was getting recruited to be on the high school soccer team, and I ended up declining that. And that was basically the end of, my sporting journey, at least in the school. I did play basketball a little bit afterwards, but shortly after that, I was pretty much done for good. But I think I bring this up, because it led me directly to doing music and pursuing music, and the time that was freed up from not having to go to these practices, not having to report to a team, led me to begin studying music production and really dive into what ended up becoming my real passion. I'm also able to look back and just see, how I was viewing things from my own lens, letting those people get to me, even if it wasn't directed at me. I think just the drama in general just made me hate it so much. It really just spoiled the love I had for playing sports. I think with music, I learned to not let that happen, even if there is that outside noise, not let it get to me, because I'm really in charge of that myself, and I can steer the ship, metaphorically speaking, however I want, which is the best part about it. Overall, that experience definitely helped shape me for the better, and I definitely learned from it moving forward. It always makes me think, just being able to give back to the next generation instead of take from them is super important. Whether someone's asking me for advice in music or life in general, it doesn't really matter about what I've been through. They're gonna have their own journey and their own steps as well. And just being able to keep that in mind about what I learned back then definitely helps, me move forward in the right way, and hopefully can help the person up next do the same thing.